By 2026, AI isn't gonna be just another tool. It's gonna be the world we operate in. It is literally rewriting the playbook for how we work, how we invest, how we build wealth. So in this explainer, we're gonna break down exactly what that means for you. Honestly, this is the single biggest question you've got to ask yourself. Because really, the choice you make right now is going to define your entire career, your whole financial future for the next decade. And everything we're about to cover, it's all designed to help you make sure AI is your co-pilot, not your competition. Okay, so let's start big picture. The 30,000-foot view. Because if you want to find the best opportunities down on the ground, you first have to understand where the big money is actually flowing. What are the major themes shaping this brand new AI-driven world? All right, so HSBC's latest outlook shows the US economy is staying surprisingly resilient, and a lot of that is thanks to tech innovation. But here's the kicker. The real pro tip here is to look beyond just the usual mega tech giants. Smart money, it's spreading out into sectors like industrials and utilities. Think about it. These are the companies on the ground floor, the ones actually becoming smart adopters of AI. And at the same time, you've got Asia's own AI ecosystem just exploding. It's becoming this massive new engine for growth. And this is where it gets really interesting. See, AI isn't just something you invest in, it's a powerful tool you can invest with. What you're looking at here is a visualization of a hybrid AI trading system. Now, you don't need to be a Wall Street quant to get this. The key takeaway is that the AI is looking at all of these charts at once: price momentum, market sentiment, you name it. And it's finding patterns that honestly no human could ever spot. And the result in this particular study, a mind-blowing 135% return in just 2 years. That's crushing the major benchmarks. It's a perfect example of how AI is fundamentally changing the very mechanics of the market. Okay, so beyond pure tech, there's another huge shift in where the money's going, and that's in energy. And the data here, it's crystal clear. You can see it right in the table. Traditional power, coal and stuff, its growth is slowing way down. Meanwhile, green energy, solar, wind, it's getting absolutely supercharged by government policies and this huge focus on ESG, environmental, social, and governance factors. Just to put that in perspective, India is aiming for 500 gigawatts of renewable capacity by 2030. That creates an absolutely massive runway for growth here. So in a world that feels pretty volatile and is being shaken up by AI, a lot of investors are looking for stability, and they're finding it in what we call alternative assets. Let's take real estate, for example. Normally, you'd buy a property and hope it appreciates over many years, right? That's equity. But there's another way. You can invest in the loan on a property. That's called debt investing. And as you can see, the big difference is you're not waiting on the market to go up. You get paid through fixed interest payments. We're talking 10 to 14%, typically. And you get your money back in a much shorter time frame, like 6 to 18 months. It's really a strategy built for getting more predictable returns, especially when technology is disrupting everything else. All right, so we get where the big money is flowing, but what does that actually mean for you, for your career, for your skill set? Let's zoom in now from that big picture investing world right down to the individual level. What are the skills you actually need to have to succeed in all this? Well, it's probably no surprise that according to Upwork's research on hiring, data science and analytics is still one of the absolute hottest skill categories out there. I mean, companies are practically desperate for anyone who can make sense of the mountains of data that AI is now unlocking. And we're not just talking about some vague trend here. The skills that are really in demand are super specific. We're talking about machine learning, data visualization, and data processing. Even really niche skills like AI data annotation, which is basically the crucial work of labeling data so AI models can learn, even that is commanding a huge premium on freelance sites. But listen, this is a really, really important point. Your technical skills might get you in the door, sure, but it's these so-called power skills that are going to make you irreplaceable. Think of it this way. Technical skills are about what you can do. Power skills are about how well you do it. We're talking about creative thinking, communication, problem solving, the stuff that is uniquely human. And it makes sense, right? As AI starts to automate more of the technical stuff, employers are putting an even bigger premium on these human-centric power skills. Okay, let's zoom in one last time. We're going right down to the ground level, to the most practical, actionable stuff. We've looked at the big investment trends, we've looked at the skills you need. So now, how are people actually using AI to make money? What are some business models you could literally start tomorrow? Okay, check this business idea out. Think about this problem. Every founder, Every content creator, every executive, they all know they need a personal brand, but they are the bottleneck in their own business. They just don't have the time to be on camera every single day. That's where a digital twin creator comes in. You solve that exact problem for them. And the sales pitch is so simple, it's brilliant. Suddenly, you don't need to be on camera anymore. You create a photorealistic AI avatar of them, and just like that, you've removed the bottleneck. They can now generate a never-ending stream of content without ever having to step in front of a camera again. And get this, the process is way simpler than you might think. Step 1, you just capture 2 to 5 minutes of really high-quality video of your client. Step 2, you upload that to an AI platform, something like HeyGen, and it creates a photorealistic avatar and a clone of their voice. And then step 3, boom, just like that, you can start pumping out daily social media videos, product demos, even entire online courses for them. It's an unbelievably high-value service. All right, let's look at another one. This is a huge opportunity with a really low barrier to entry that's been buzzing around online. Think about every local business in your town. The fitness studio, the dentist, the restaurant. They all get bogged down answering the same repetitive questions over and over and over again. Well, you can be the one to solve that problem by building them a custom AI chatbot. And we're talking about real money here. Folks who are doing this right now are charging anywhere from $500 to $2,000. And that's just for the setup. Then they charge a monthly fee on top of that. It's a real, tangible solution to a very real, tangible problem. And here's the secret playbook for how to actually succeed at this. The key thing to understand is that you don't need to be a coding genius. This is all about sales and problem solving. So you find a local business, you figure out their most common customer questions, and then you use these super accessible no-code tools like BotPress or VoiceFlow to build a simple chatbot that plugs right into something they already use, like WhatsApp. Seriously, your ability to sell the solution is way more important than your ability to code it from the ground up. Okay, so we've covered a lot. Investing, skills, business models. But there's one single idea, a core principle that ties all of these winning strategies together. If you remember one thing, it should be this. I mean, think about it. You can create digital twins, build chatbots, trade with an AI. The list of things you can do is endless. So, what's the difference between a successful business and a failed experiment? What's the secret sauce? This right here, this is the aha moment. The single biggest key to unlocking all of this is to start with existing demand. Don't just find a cool new AI tool and then go hunting for a problem it can solve. That's backwards. Instead, like this quote says, you monetize the exact problem people are already paying you for. And then you layer AI on top to make it scalable and turn it into a real product. All right, so we've come full circle. We went from the huge macro economy all the way down to this one single core principle. So let's wrap this all up into a clear, simple playbook you can use to plan your next move. Really, it all boils down to 3 simple steps. First, see the macro shift. You have to understand the big picture, where the money is going. AI, green energy, those alternative assets. Second, align your skills. You need that powerful mix of the technical skills and those uniquely human power skills. And third, and most importantly, solve a real problem. Apply that core principle we just talked about. Apply AI to a problem that already exists. Look, if you only remember one single thing from all of this, let it be this. Do not start with the AI. Start with the demand. Find a painful, expensive problem that people are already opening up their wallets to solve, and then you figure out how AI can deliver a better, faster, cheaper solution. The tools are here. The technology is more accessible than it has ever been in human history. The opportunities from investing your money to building a new business are taking shape right in front of our eyes. That choice we talked about at the beginning between AI being your competitor or your co-pilot, that's your choice to make. So the only question left is, what are you going to build?